Good people, it's another day that we are going to go through some of the tips that can help you succeed in exams. And I'm happy to be here with you again to share with you some of the things I've learned over the years through experience and study and practice. And my name is Otieno Paul Peter, once more, just in case you're coming in for the first time. I'll be happy to be with you. I'll be happy to get your comments just down this video. Or if you have some questions, you can also forward them. Or if you have any particular concern, you can share them still. Again, remember to subscribe and share this with other people. That's the only way we can reach more people and be able to have a better impact to the world. Our mission as Live Your Dream is always to equip and inspire people to be able to live your dream. And so, even as we take you through this process of tips to passing exam, we really intend and hope that it will be able to help you live your dream. And so, going very fast, today we're going to the 8th tip, and that is get the question right. Most times we end up setting our own questions and answering it correctly. You see, if you do not get the question correctly, there is no way you're going to answer it right. And a large part of this is caused by the impression that the question is simple, that the paper is simple. And so we tend to rush without gathering what was being asked. And this is a big catastrophe. It leads to failure. One of the things that we need to check is what is being asked. What is it that is being asked? You know, what is apparent, what you can see with your eyes, sometimes is not necessarily what is being asked. You need to think about it. You need to engage your thinking. You might end up interpreting the question different. For example, in some instances, you may find a question saying, explain the causes of food shortage in Africa. And you interpret it to mean give or state, and you will just put in some points there. Now, the other thing is you might end up interpreting according to maybe what you read just before exam or just the night before, and maybe the questions there were, what are the solutions of food shortage in Africa? So you end up giving answers for the solution as opposed to for the shortage. So it's good, it's very important to always get to know what is the real question, what is being asked, what is the intention of the examiner. It's important to relate it with the topic. If it's a topic you've covered, if it's a topic that you are familiar with. For example, you can get this question of this tap has this amount, this particular tank has this amount of water getting inside and this amount of water getting outside. And then it asks you, at what point will it be filled? You need to understand the question very clearly, because even in the multiple choices, if there will be all sorts of answers, and the figures there are exact figures you are going to meet as you process the answer. Get the topic they are dealing with. If it is LCM, they are trying to ask you about LCM. It could be a topic on timing. They are trying to understand whether you know how to calculate time and things like that. If you do not get it right, you may end up answering the question wrongly. So find out what is being tested. Maybe they are testing your ability to understand or interpret a question that is given, like a mathematical question that is given in word. You are putting it into figures. They want to know whether you know how to write those things in figures. Maybe they are testing your ability to analyze a problem. Maybe what is being tested is your ability to interpret a composition or a comprehension question, for example, in English. You see, so the moment you understand, and this one comes with practice, if you've been doing a lot of revision through revision papers and even checking the marking scheme, you'll be able to understand. Another way of getting this is discussing many question papers with your teachers. They'll be able to guide you in this. But it helps a lot to be able to understand what exactly is being tested. Now, there is another thing here, and it's about mistakes that appear in the exam paper. We cannot rule out mistakes, they are always there. And you've had situations where you think you've done your paper only for another student and from another corner to raise up his or her hand and ask about maybe question number 17. And then the invigilator will say, oh, sorry, this question, let's all be attentive, this question seems to have a problem, and you can pass it, we will tell you what to do with it. But at that time, you had already finished your question. You finished, you already did that particular question. That is not very exciting. So please be sure to check if the question looks wrong. You must feel free to ask. Yes? If the question looks wrong, it might be wrong. It's not that you're stupid. It might be wrong. And the other thing is, if it doesn't make sense, you see, sometimes you can even be told that, like in this picture, you are told to use the table below, or use figure 9 in a particular page, but you can't see that figure, or use this table, but you can't see that table, or use the table provided, or whatever. You must be able to digest the question and see whether it's making sense, whether the question looks wrong, whether it looks misplaced. And this might just earn you some free mark if the question is proven to be a mistake, and so they can't reset it. See, ensure it is legible. If it is not legible, you should also raise up your hand and ask. Yeah, that is, you are unable to read exactly what is being there. Maybe it's rubbed, like in this case you can see the word exercise. We can feel it as exercise, but maybe it's not very clear. This one at least you can gaze. There are those ones that are not really clear. It's not your mistake that it's not legible for you. So just ask. Maybe your paper has a problem. Maybe you're missing some paper in there. The middle, they could be 4 papers, but there is one in the middle that is not there. So be open to asking, just to ensure that you have everything and you get everything clearly. Another tip that is very important, and I've used many times, is giving more. You see, they say there are 2 ways to fail. That one way is not doing what you are told to do, and the second way is doing no more than you are told to do. So either you did not do what you were told to do, or you did nothing more than you were told to do. So let's always try to go that extra mile. If you're asked to give 4 reasons why CBC is better than 844, please give. If you can remember 6, 8, write them very fast. Give more, because you never know. Maybe one of them will be disputed, but at least you will get 4 and they will mark for you. In many cases, as long as you get 4, they will give you the full mark. In some situations, very rare situations, they will say they are taking the first 4, but that is not very rare. Most times they will check if you got 4. So give more. If they asked you to state 5 benefits of of rural urban migration, please give 7, give 8, if you can give 10. Just ensure that you observe time so that you do not go overboard. But give more than you are asked for. And the other thing is, ensure you write clearly. I'm a victim in this. Most times, if you do not write clearly, remember the person marking may just have an attitude about you and just give up. So if you have clear handwriting, it will be better for you. Personally, I'm unfortunate in this. I'm not very good in handwriting, so I struggle with it. But at least I try to ensure that they are legible and the examiner should be able to read without a lot of strain. So ensure you're writing clearly so that you do not give a hard time to the person marking for you, because like in the national exams, they will be paid according to the papers they mark. So if yours is going to take them more time, they might just pass it or assume it. Otherwise, that's the end of today's session, and I'd like to wish you the best. I know exam is very much around the corner. No need to be afraid. Just do your best, and God will do his part. If you do your part, God will do his part. We will meet again next week for further tips. And as I told you, my name is Otieno Paul Peter. You can always get more about me from that website, Otieno Paul Peter. And if you haven't subscribed, just do it. Thank you. Have a blessed time.